Hi everyone, this is Marianne and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you the making of my daily planner pages for November 2021. For November, I'm going to use just this paper that I have used for almost my entire current planner. This is the hard copy brand that is 100 GSM. This is in letter size. This doesn't come in A4, but that's okay because you'll see later how I cut this paper down to the size that I need. I also have my little process sheet out so I won't miss a step in doing this task. I have a video about this section in my planner that contains all my processes to help ease brain fog and anxiety when doing tasks that require multiple steps, and I will link that video down below. And I have to say, it is actually quite late in the month of November as I am doing this. I did schedule the making of these November pages for this week, but now I feel uncomfortable about it. I feel that it's rather late in the month. I'm so used to preparing the daily pages for the coming month at around the middle of the current month. But anyway, let us move along. I've already printed out the pages for November and I did make some changes on the layout, which I will show in detail later on in this video. But for now, let us first cut everything down to the proper size. The paper size that I am using for my disc-bound planner is the A5 Slim. It is the height of the A5, but the width of the personal. So it's 210 millimeters tall and 95 millimeters wide. I really like this size. I am a lister. I need to list everything down so I won't forget. So my lists are usually very, very long. Therefore, the vertical orientation is really very functional and very appealing to me. I have been very happy in the standard personal sized for quite a few years. The standard personal size is 95 millimeters wide, but only 171 millimeters tall. I used to be on the loose leaf ring bound system like the Filofax, and I have so many videos of my setups and binders and my actual planner pages on my channel. I will leave some playlists for you in the description box in case you're interested. And I really like the personal size because it is narrow and tall. So when I found out about the A5 Slim, which is just as narrow but even taller, I jumped on the idea right away. And because now I am on the disc bound, I am no longer limited to any page size. The beauty of the disc bound is that as long as we use the standard hole punch, which a few different manufacturers have available, so we have enough to choose from, we will be okay. We can use ready-made inserts for the disc bound, or we can make our own, or we can buy inserts and punch them ourselves. We can use ready-made covers or we can make our own, and we can throw everything together even if they are of different paper sizes, and they will all fit on the disc bound if we use the disc bound hole punch. So I went with the A5 Slim, which was a size that was suggested by another planner Instagrammer. Her name is Niza Gueco. I will link her Instagram and her YouTube channel in the description box as well. I do have a couple of paper trimmers, but for making my daily pages each month, I prefer to use a box cutter, a metal ruler, and a cutting mat, and cut the sheets down to size one by one. It takes more time, but I find the process calming. I usually turn a movie on in my laptop because I film on my phone, so I turn the movie on in my laptop, which is a movie that I really like and which I have watched many times before, so I don't have to look at it. I just need to listen so I can find some calm in the familiarity of what I am hearing. For this moment, the movie Insiang is on. It's a Philippine movie from 1976 starring Hilda Coronel and Mona Lisa. It's one of my favorites. I've seen it in high school for the first time, but I have been watching it over and over from time to time since about 2008. Let me revert to the original sound so you can hear a little bit of it. And that is Insiang, a classic Filipino movie from 1976. I needed the calm so much more on this day. Our city has been experiencing earthquake swarms since the middle of October. The first earthquake came at 10:30 in the evening, and first there was a rumbling sound, and then the shaking came, and it was so strong it lasted for a few seconds, as most earthquakes do. And when we checked out the reports online, we saw that the epicenter was located in a place that was only about 30 minutes away from us, and the magnitude was 4.2, and the intensity in our area was 6. That is strong. Although it's a good thing that we don't have any high rises in our province, and in Naga City, especially where I live, the tallest buildings are only 6 floors high, and there is only a handful of them. Our house has only one floor, and it is very solidly built. I have shown our house in a previous vlog. I will link it down below. So the earthquake really didn't do any damage to our house or to other people's houses that I know, and there was no news of houses or buildings getting damaged. That is a big relief. However, our city government still decided to go on heightened alert, and staff of the city safety offices went around to inspect roads and bridges and other public structures for damage that can be mitigated at once to prevent bigger destruction in the future. That first earthquake was on the night of the 14th of October. At around 2 a.m. of the 15th, we had a series of earthquakes, and most of them came after a rumbling sound. I I actually don't know which was more scary, the rumbling sound or the actual earthquake. The rumbling is low pitched, but it is quite loud, like boulders rolling around, and there is a vibration, and then the actual shaking comes. It is really scary. And now, even when there is no earthquake, but I hear a rumbling from a passing truck or something, I tend to brace for an earthquake. I think I think earlier this afternoon there was another earthquake, but it was very mild. I didn't even feel it, thank goodness. On that first night, people did go out of their houses following the proper earthquake safety protocols. It was all over social media. I think most people in the city didn't get to sleep much, and then there was that series of other earthquakes before dawn, and then at dawn it rained so hard, really cats and dogs for about more than an hour with thunder and lightning. So people who haven't had any sleep, like me, could not distinguish between the rumbling of the earthquake and the rumbling of the thunder. It was very scary. No one got hurt, nothing was destroyed, but still, it really disrupted our peace of mind. Well, according to our Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, the earthquake swarm was caused by increased pressure from underground volcanic activity, and this pressure was being released through the cracks in the tectonic plates. So the earthquakes were getting less strong as the days went by because the pressure was already being released little by little. That was their explanation. I will link the Facebook page down below where they have posted updates. So that's what has been going on. I'm still so anxious about it, and I need some calming activities. So making these pages, especially cutting them down by hand, sheet by sheet, while listening to an old familiar movie is a welcome activity. Oh, okay, so how have you been? I hope you're doing better than I am. I hope your area is safe from any danger. I hope you and your loved ones are healthy and have peace of mind. So anyway, let's move along. At this point, all of the daily pages are cut down to the proper size. It is kind of a thick stack. Now I'm going to get the weekly task lists, which I always tip into the right page of the Sunday spread. I don't do weekly planning in terms of the weekly planning that everyone else does. But I do have one sheet for each week, which will have all the things that I need to get done or need to remember for a particular week. but haven't decided yet what day I'm going to do them or deal with them or address them. I do have a video on my channel about how I plan, and I will link it down below in case you're interested. After all of the papers have been cut, it is time to punch the holes. Now, this Happy Planner punch is behaving a little bit differently these days. I used to be able to punch 3 sheets of 100 GSM paper cleanly, all at once. Now, when I do that, the edges of the mushroom holes look a little bit ragged, but when I punch only 2 sheets at a time, the holes are nice and clean, so that's what I'm doing. And now that all of the pages are punched, I need to append the weekly task lists to their proper places. First, I score them on the score line that is printed very faintly onto the page. It doesn't show up on camera, it is very faint, but I can see it. I use an awl to score the line. This is just a bookbinding awl that I use to make the notebooks for the unplanned life. And then I use the bone folder to fold it and make a sharp and precise crease. I do the same to all of the other sheets, and then I just isolate the daily pages week by week and then glue the folded edge of the weekly task list through the edge of the right page of the Sunday spread, as you can see here. For the glue, I'm using the Kuretake two-way glue for this. It has a narrow applicator, which is perfect for this task. It is very convenient and clean. Sorry, I'm out of frame here. I do the same for every week. I isolate, lay down the glue on the folded edge, and append the sheet to the page that it should be on. And finally, everything is assembled together. It is time to put these in my planner. I have a video about how I refreshed this exact planner. I will link it down below. And this planner is still the same, nothing has changed. And only, ever since that video was made, only the process sheet, the process section was added. And I will also link that video about the process section down below. I put my daily pages behind the spread for the month. Like here is the spread for November 2021, and the daily pages for November go behind that. Let me just take out this travel cover because it is a bit cumbersome. I don't even need it anyway. I'm just at home. I have a tutorial about this travel cover, which is in the video about my planner refresh. And then here is how it looks. When planning for the month, I fold out the weekly task lists so that when I am flipping through the pages for that week, the tasks for that week will remain visible to me and I can decide what to put on the daily pages. So whatever page I'm on for the day, the weekly task list is visible to me. I can read it, I can write in it. And finally, my daily pages for the coming month are ready. I did not make any mistake this time compared with a couple of very minor mistakes last time when I was making my daily planner pages for October. I will link that video down below. Now, this planner is so chunky, super chunky. These are the metal expander discs from Happy Planner. These are 1.75 inches in diameter, and clearly they're too small for what I have in here. And that's okay, nothing is going to break. The metal discs won't break, the papers won't tear, the covers won't crack. Hopefully they won't crack, and that is another thing that I love about the disc bound, especially when using metal discs. You don't have to be too precious about it. Unlike with ring planners, you have to be careful with those. You have to be very careful with how much paper you put on the rings, or the ring mechanism might develop problems like gaps, or the mechanism might loosen or something like that. And finally, let me show you the changes that I have made. All of the changes were made only on the left page. The right page is the same. Let me take out this empty page from October so I can show you better. My left page is all for tracking. The boxes for creative writing and personal reading are the same size as before, but the box for reading for my thesis is bigger because sometimes I read more than one book a day. I am cramming now, the deadline is looming, so I made that box bigger because I read more than 2 books a day. Sometimes 2 books a day mostly. I made the box for YouTube videos smaller because I want to cut down on YouTube watching. The boxes for tracking TV shows and films watched are the same, and I added this additional box for tracking documentaries I watched and lectures that I have either attended via Zoom or older lectures that I am watching as a video. Those are not necessarily related to my thesis. Sometimes I just watch them to learn something new. And the box for tracking podcasts is the same size as before. When we get to the part here, this is a checklist for my daily self-care that I printed on a sheet of paper and then cut up and pasted on here for the remaining days of October. This wasn't on when I was making my pages for October. This is just added on. I used to write down each detail of my personal self-care on the tracking boxes, but it was a bit of a hassle, so I just pasted a checklist over the area for the remaining pages of October. And on the pages for November, I shuffled things around. The checklist is now on here. Tracking box for my food log is the same, but above it I added a tracking box for liquid intake for fruit juice, iced tea, soda, and water. I haven't been very good with water. I have never been good with water. I need constant reminders, and even then, sometimes I don't drink water. I prefer other drinks. So I figured, let me just track everything so I can see what my normal liquid consumption is, and then once I have a clearer picture, I'll figure out what to do. A smaller box for noting down my symptoms because lately I haven't had any of my usual symptoms like headaches or extreme fatigue. But here I still have the box to track leg tiredness because I'm figuring out if I need vein stripping. Here are my medications checklist, and then everything else at the bottom is the same. Another major change I made is in the 24-hour time tracking area. The lines marking the 15 minutes of every hour they used to be just a gray color, and they used to be all just lined up as you can see here on the October page. Only the lines on the hour are slightly darker, but the lines for the 15-minute mark, the 30-minute mark, and the 45-minute mark are a lighter gray. On the November pages, these lines are now green, the same shade of green all throughout, and they are staggered. The 15-minute line is shorter, the 30-minute line is slightly longer, the 45-minute line is even longer, and the line for the hour is the longest. This is just way easier for me to see because my eyesight isn't getting any better. Presbyopia is real, and also I do not want to add any strain to my eyes. I'm already straining them while I'm cramming for my thesis. I do not want to strain them when I am writing on my planner. And I just made this green because I can see the lines better that way, because the lines of the pencil that I use on my planner are already gray. I just wanted a distinction between the lines on my planner and the lines that I put down with pencil. And that is it. That is my little video for you today. I will have another video for you soon about me actually planning for November on these pages. So please make sure that you're subscribed to my channel and that you click on the notification bell so that you will get an alert as soon as that video is up. I hope you were able to get some ideas from my video. Thanks for watching. Bye.